Hello, hello. Welcome everyone aboard wherever you're tuned in. How are you doing? How is everything? I hope you're doing fine with yourself and the day has been marvelous. Whatever that has happened has happened. You have no control about what transpired today. All that you have is what is it? You counting the achievements of what you've done, been able to achieve today. And that is what is powerful. That is what you should carry home. That is what you should meditate upon. Welcome aboard to my channel. This is Muliro Fire, and you can always follow me on YouTube. Subscribe, and yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Yes, I know so much has happened. So much has transpired. A lot has happened. Some we didn't have control of, but some we would have just accepted them the way they are. But it is in trying to change. It is in trying to make the very best, to make things want to work in our favor. That is when we go wrong. That is why we don't achieve. That is why some of us fail. Because we want to think that we are always at our best. We have to accept that things happen, and those that are meant to happen will happen regardless of how prepared or how we had anticipated. But you know what? We have to take in that which that has transpired, that which that has happened. That is the one that we have power of. Yes, then the circumstances cannot define us. The day has been rough. You've been roughed. You've had a very terrible day from work. And you know what? That one happened. And you should forget about it. Just smile to yourself and thank God that it is over. That you're walking in another day that you even do not know what will transpire. We live in uncertainty. We do not know what is it that is going to come tomorrow. But we always prepare ourselves. Living with the positivity, we have the hope. We know that, yes, we have that faith that it will manifest, because what we are doing is something that we are so much indebted to. And when you realize this, the mindset you set, and what is happening in your life is that this progress has to take time. It has to materialize step by step, slowly by slowly as it materializes. It's not easy, but it's not hard again. So sometimes we think that we are more subjected to pressure. Sometimes that we are hurting ourselves on purpose, but you see, nothing good comes easy unless you sacrifice. You are ready to pay that steep price. Anything of value has to be bought by a price, and the price has to be stiffer, more expensive. Gold is expensive, diamonds are expensive. That is why it takes a lot of time in preparation, it takes a lot of time in digging and getting this gold. And after it has been dug again, there is another process that it has to undergo. There's the cutting of the diamond rings, cutting of the diamond bracelets, the making of diamond watches, and the making of the gold watches. All this is a process. It's not a one-day thing. It's not an easy thing. And that is why those people have to have that patience. And that is what we don't want. That is what we don't want to hear. That is a vocabulary that we don't want to carry or tag along with. But you see, anything in life, it has to come from patience. It doesn't just happen like that. It doesn't just happen on the spur of a moment. It's not that you give in. It's like a lottery. You give in money and you are getting this now. No. It's not like that aviator that, you know what, you're putting in your money and you're expecting that plane to take off, only for you to realize that it burned. It didn't even take that step. Life is a process. And this is a process that makes the bold. It takes only those who are bold enough. You've tried this, it failed. Find out, why did it fail? Find out, you are worthy of that struggle. You are worthy of that fall. Maybe that is why it didn't work, though, so that you can do it better. It will not materialize because you're doing it to the wrong people. That is why it wouldn't go further. That is why it doesn't work. And that is why you get to have some time whereby you reflect on yourself. You sit back again. You rewrite. You draw the plan again. You're redoing the plan again. You re-strategize again. You know what? You have to delete everything, you know what, reset everything for you to move again forward. And this calls for so much of your time. It calls for the boldness, the courage of you knowing too well that whether I like it or I don't, I have to start afresh. It is a fresh start. It's starting on another slate. It is another canvas. It is another page. It is just the power and courage of you getting yourself that paint, getting yourself that paintbrush, and coming on this masterpiece and working out the magic for you. How many are willing? Most of us, millions of us want change. We really want to be like somebody else. We want to emulate somebody else. But little did we know, little do we realize that which has costed them, the time it has consumed, the resilience, the working out, the waking up of early, sleeping late, doing those things that are impossible. You know what? For you to get that which you don't have, that means you have to do something different, something that you've never done before. That is why winners are there. That is why people achieve. That is why people make breakthroughs in situations that you could not even understand. It is because of the power of the resilience. Sometimes we think that we will be motivated by people. But suppose this person does not motivate you. Suppose he's not there for you. What happens for you when motivation dies? Discipline takes its place. And it's in discipline that we are able to know how far are we gonna go. It's discipline that makes all difference. It makes us wake up. It makes us be consistent. It makes us work on that difficult part, always pushing through the resistance, knowing too well that you're capable, you are worthy of that struggle. You've come from far. You've had this dream beckoning for you for years. But you see what? Why are you procrastinating? Why are you pushing it forward? Tomorrow might be too late. Nobody knows how long are you gonna stay here. But you see, you have a role, you have a place, and you have to stand out for what you believe in, and you have to represent yourself better than anybody else. No one feels your pain. It's you who feels your pain. No one understands where you want to go. It is you who knows where to want to go. And it is a decision that you have to take. It is a tough decision, but nothing good comes easy. You have to sacrifice your time, sacrifice your friends, sacrifice doing those unnecessary things, and you constantly do that which gives you value, the one that brings meaning to you. Ladies and gentlemen, anything that we believe in our mind, it becomes a reality. Any thought that we have in our brain, it becomes a reality. If it is negative, that is what will manifest. If it is positive, always that is what will manifest. That is what will come out in reality. So please, we might say we are in a difficult time. That is true, of course. We are facing a very challenging time in history, fine. But again, why don't we look on the flip side? That as much as we are living in a more challenging world, but this is something that is peculiar, that we have the best opportunities, the best chances. We have the people that we will always rely on, only that when we sacrifice and do that which gives us passion, when we are passionate about that what we want to do, when we give it, we constantly do it repeatedly, not being scared of what people will say, scared of what the economy says, but what is it that is driving you? You have to be different. And being different means you are extraordinary, and being extraordinary, that means you're doing something that majority have always been scared of doing. Walking your own path. So today, guys, I don't want to bore you so much, but I just wanted to echo my sentiments and congratulate this Makanga from Rongai, audio file, something like that. That was the Matatu. That guy showed some kindness. He's called somebody Mburu, with together audio files. That is the name of the Matatu. That guy did something that is unique. That gentleman showed another something that can take. By the way, I was watching the clip and I could not hold my tears. I could feel how people feel when you touch them in those circumstances, the things that you do that are exemplary, they can never be compared to anyone else. It is just one touch of that kindness, that compassion, that you feeling the pain of the other person, you feeling those shoes that he's wearing, and you come to that conclusion that sure enough, I have to give myself, as long as I'm still alive and I have this opportunity, I have to extend my hand. A big up man, Mburu and the Audiofiles crew, thank you so much for taking care of this lady Violet Nekesa. He took her to hospital, and Mburu was there to make sure that she got medication, and that was amazing. My brother, was amazing. You know what? I always say money is not everything. Imagine Mburu sacrificed his pay and told the other guys, just split the money between you guys. But for me, just let it be. It is fine with me. It is fine with me. And she dedicated her time to making sure that this lady was treated, and indeed the driver and all the passengers who were in that vehicle, Audiophiles, you showed that compassion that is exemplary and should be emulated by everyone, anyone, wherever they are. I always say that it's not about the money. You can give me money, yes, but I'll forget. You can give me something different, but I will still forget. You can elevate me. You can pay for my air ticket to go somewhere where I've always dreamt of going, but I will not even remember that. But what I will remember is how did you make me feel in that time that I was in dire need. How did you make me feel? That is something that will go for a longer time. It will remain embedded in your brain, because this guy reached for you when no one else saw that, when no one was willing, but you captured and took that window of opportunity, and you changed everything else. And you see, they say we should not give up on ourselves, because God has designed all these things to happen to us, not that subjectively that we might suffer, that we may undergo pain. But you see, this is a school. We are always taken through this process so that we know how far we're supposed to go and how we're supposed to react, because we've seen them. We've suffered the same fate, but on different scenarios. But how do you react? That is what is very important. How you react to these situations, how you react when you see somebody in need. How do you react? Do you hide away, or you stand firm and you extend whatever capacity on your own level? Not because you are helping. You know, there's a quote that Mburu said that it doesn't need a title for you to do something good. Yes. Yeah, it's just a mere makanga that you see. People could not even, in fact, people are reading that story and it is so touchy. But you see that action, that compassion, the kindness that he offered is something that is peculiar, and that will remain embedded. If you get that opportunity, that window of opportunity, please capitalize on it. You never know what tomorrow will come. You'll never know who is watching. You won't know. You will never imagine. So keep grinding, keep pushing through. Do not wait for approval from other quarters. Approve yourself. Always mark yourself present, and believe you me, a lot more is yet to come. Thank you so much, all you guys who are following me. I always kindly request that you follow me on YouTube at Mlilo Fire. Please, just subscribe to my channel, and we're gonna do this. One thing that I believe is, as if you've started it, then you must finish it. That is the motto. If you started it, why did you start in the first place? Why did you embark on this journey in the first place? Yes, because you knew it will be difficult. It will be challenging. It will call for more attention. It will call for you to sacrifice. And you'll have to sweat. Sometimes you want to give in, but despite all of this, keep moving. Martin Luther King Jr. says, if you can't fly, you run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But make sure by all means you reach the finish line. Yes, the race is on. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody cares of your pain. Nobody cares what happened to you. Nobody cares where you are, but who cares? It is you who cares about yourself and knowing that where I'm going is not fine. Then I have to get that U-turn, that junction. That is what is phenomenal. And once you make that U-turn and you know that you found your North Star, and when you go towards the North Star, every single achievement will be worth it because you're worthy of more than anything else that we give ourselves credit for. Thank yourself that you're still alive, and always be gratitude for the opportunity. Be grateful for the chances that are always within you. And when you realize that you have the power and you have the choice to make, you have a choice to go through this pain right now, this moment now, which will only eventually come to an end, or you just stay calm and make that choice of just sitting and doing nothing, always complaining and looking for excuses, and in the long run that you will experience that, that pain that will be with you forever. So stand up, stand tall, look yourself up and walk tall, knowing too well that wherever you go, make an impact, feel somebody, go gain there and change the system. It is difficult. Sometimes it calls for those that are bold, those are willing to speak up their mind without any fear of contradiction. That is who you are. Get out there and do that which you're supposed to be. Don't leave, just be behind closed doors. Don't hide behind those curtains, but feel your presence wherever you go, because that is who you are. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you share, because we're going to do this without their support. We'll do it without them, even holding our hands. There are those that are here, that are watching, that will hold our hands. And it starts with a very single step of pride. That single step of pride, that is what makes the whole difference. That is who we are. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Have a nice evening, and I wish you well. Never give up on yourself. Never surrender. Never quit. You know what? In this life that we're in, as long as we realize who we are and why we're existing, then the chances are that quitting is not entertained and giving up is not an option. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Nice evening.